good afternoon. As promised, as I learned more about the ever evolving Casper, uh, issues, I said that I would come back on live and update everybody. There is a lot of confusion, and to be honest, the only good information that's coming out from the Casper Network is from the CTO. Michael Stewart, I believe is his name. And I'm there's a couple of things I want to do while being live right now. And one of them is clear up a lot of confusion about the structure of Casper Network, Casper Labs, and the Casper Association. It's very important that moving forward, people understand this. By no means am I saying that Casper's dead or that Casper is going to go to the moon. There has been a lot of issues, and in my opinion, a lot of those issues have stemmed from Casper Labs. So let's start there. So the way, let's actually, I might talk a little bit longer just to try to get some more people in on X watching live. So this is really important aspect to understand is the structure of that those three entities: Casper Labs, Casper Network, and Casper Association. So let's take a look at the markets real quick and give some people some time to join in with us. We only have two people join that are watching right now. We had a couple hundred yesterday. Let's if you could, if you're watching, if you could please like and share this, and let's kind of spread the word far and wide. Really want to get some people uh, watching this so that they can get the clarity they're looking for. There's a lot of panic. There's a lot of people that are wondering, should I buy? Should I sell? Um, those sorts of things. And I'll be honest, when I first saw the news, my first instinct, and it was an emotional one. It was, undelegate and sell, at least a portion, if not all, of my bag, my Casper bag. I took a breath, stepped away, cleared my head, worked out a bit, came back, and decided that I am keeping all of my Casper delegated. I furthermore realized that crypto investors, a lot of them are not smart money, are very emotional in their investing. So, full transparency, I shorted the shit out of Casper because I knew there would be a huge sell off, and that there would be multiple dips. So between the U.S. markets, the Asian markets, and the European markets, anyone that had liquid Casper would sell off, if they're going to, very relatively quickly. To undelegate, it takes, I believe it's 12 hours. Yeah, it's like 12 hours. It's like 7 epochs or whatever you call them, before you can, or 14 hours, before it will fully undelegate and it's liquid for you to do whatever with. So I realized that there was going to be stages of people, being liquid enough to sell their Casper in their emotional state. So I shorted Casper, and I earned a couple 100% doing that. I took those profits. I bought more Casper to grow my bag, and took the initial investment that I used to short, and I now have in a long. So, and I'll even show you that live. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Let's see. All right. So it looks like I'm down. I'll share my screen. It's not a huge position. Um, I've almost doubled my. Here we go. I've almost doubled. I'm down 33% right now. on the long. I entered. I longed from here to here. I closed it out, took those profits as well. It was about 80%, and then I entered back in, and I'm down. So I would say I've probably plussed up my quite a large bag of Casper. I've added probably 30% to my Casper bag. Sitting at full disclosure. I'm pushing towards 1 million Casper, and that's my goal. Is I want through this chaos, I want to try to get my Casper bag fully delegated to 1 million Casper. Um, and again, it's because people are emotional creatures, and I'm using this opportunity to take advantage of it. I'm not going to lie. If people haven't done their research, and here, let's share this. If they haven't done their research and they didn't invest with conviction on the team, or who they're building with, their partners, if the tech, whatever it is that is your motivation to invest in a project, that is what you need to do first. If you're just buying into a project because an influencer told you to buy into it, you're probably going to get wrecked. If you bought into a project but you didn't do your due diligence or do your research, you're probably going to get wrecked, because whenever there is a sell-off or bad news or anything like that, chances are, if you don't have that logical, anchor or rock to hold yourself steady of why you invested in that project, you're going to make an emotional decision, and you're going to sell out of that position. So let's go over this real quick. So this is a really good post. Let's see. So this is a post actually from, I want to go with, so Michael Stewart, and I hope I'm saying that right, is actually the CTO of Casper Network. You know what? Those of you that are watching, I know that you want me to get straight into it, and start giving an update. So again, I see that there's 8 of you viewing. We had a couple hundred yesterday. If you could like and share this, I want to get this message out to as many as possible. For the past 2 days, I've been going all through Twitter or X, and I've been answering questions and trying to clear up some of the confusion. And there is a lot of confusion. So first of all, the structure of of Casper. So you have Casper Labs, which the was the governing authority, is kind of the best way to describe it. So they had the CEO, which I'm sure you've seen him, the little emo looking dude that was running things, and he was the one that was deciding what direction Casper would go, how it would build out, making all of those executive decisions, as a CEO should. Very smart dude. However, I do not think, and never did think, that he was a very good CEO. A CTO maybe, but not a CEO. He, like Brad Garlinghouse, he is a CEO of Ripple. Very personable. Can speak very plainly. He is very good at navigating, uh, you know, uh, governments, and discussing the tech and putting it in a very clear way to where people understand the tech. That Melinar, or whatever his name was, he was not that. He could not speak plainly about the tech. So you have Casper Labs. They are done. They have rebranded to ProveAI. Casper Labs and that team are now ProveAI, and they are building on HBAR or Hedera and building out that technology for IBM and their AI governance. Was this a huge hit to the Casper token and Casper Network and the Casper Association? Absolutely. Them leaving and taking that partnership with them, huge hit. And you've seen it in the price. That is the long and the short of the downside. Now for the upside. The upside is Casper Network, which is this Casper Network is moving forward without Casper Labs, aka ProveAI. Casper Association with Casper Network is moving forward. And I'll get into what Casper Association is. So, the Casper Network, they posted this, and I'm just going to read through it real quick, just so because they put it in much simpler or much more plain terms than I'll be able to do it. Prove AI, formerly known as Casper Labs, the creators of the Prove AI product, today announced a partnership to build their product on Hedera. Hedera will on enterprise. We wish Prove AI success with its go to market and will root for them. Recently, we, the Casper Association, announced a new community based vision and new board that will lead Casper's transition to a community led blockchain. This underscores our commitment to transparent governance and mass market use cases that go far beyond just an enterprise focus. That's an important detail. With our rapidly expanding community, which doubled in the last 2 months, our growing DeFi ecosystem, another key point, and new apps and partnerships such as Router Protocol joining our network, we are very excited about the future and continued evolution of Casper Network and the diverse community that supports it. There are some very key points in there. As I pointed out already, Casper Labs, aka Prove AI, is splitting off and is no longer part of Casper. That fact. Casper Association and Casper Network is moving forward as a community led blockchain. They are breaking free. Casper Labs and that CEO had this tunnel visioned use case of only being an enterprise blockchain, didn't allow any sort of building out with DeFi, with uh, real world assets, other than just enterprise. You know, any kind of other use cases is the kind of the point I want to make with that. Did not allow any sort of branching off other than enterprise use because Casper Labs was so enterprise focused. They were not transparent at all with token holders and the community. They kept everything very close to vest, and which was one of my huge and many in the community issues with Casper was their marketing sucked and their PR sucked. So I am hoping that now that they are moving away from that laser focus on enterprise use cases only, that the Casper Network and their team, let's actually go to their team real quick, and I'll show you. So this is the Casper Network team. I'm hoping that this team is going to be much more intelligent about how they use social media and how they interact with the community to give to rebuild confidence and to grow the community and the ecosystem. So Michael Stewart, he's the CTO on X. So far, he has been the most vocal that I have seen and the most transparent with what has been going on, which has been great to see, seeing as he's the one that's going to be heading up. He's the chief technical, officer or technology officer. And so he is the one that's going to be, moving the Casper blockchain forward, the tech stack itself. You have the head of engineering, director of operations and finance. They are building out, their board of directors. So these are, look like that they're either new additions or existing members. And this guy, Joe Davies. If you happen to see this, Joe, this is my advice, and it's advice from somebody who's been a CEO of a tech company. You need, if your focus is to grow the community and to grow this project, you need you need to build out your marketing and PR team because it has been lackluster as of so far. Um, I mean this in the most positive way possible. I know you guys have been held back by Casper Labs, and I'm this is more just me and my humble advice. You need to get your marketing team, full marketing team, and PR team stood up. You need to start engaging with the community. You need to start giving clarity and rebuild. First step on your roadmap. First milestone: rebuild confidence in the Casper network and the Casper token. Step number one. In doing so, you will you'll start rebuilding that foundation. And also, as a secondary effect, you will start drawing in new attention to the project, and you'll potentially new token buyers, all of that. Um, so then, as you do that, after you've reached that first milestone of rebuilding that confidence, standing up those teams, rebuilding that confidence, then continue that transparency with the community. Giving as things evolve, updates. Condor, where are we at? What's a projected date of launch? Those sorts of things. Progress. You want to continually show progress. You want to show that activity, that the team is hard at work, that they're improving the technology, partners, announcements with new partners and new use cases. All of that. So, with the Casper Network and the Casper Association, then Casper Live is part of all of that. That's not going with Casper Labs, or ProveAI, also known as Casper Labs, or previously known as Casper Labs. Casper Live is a key piece of the Casper ecosystem. If you hover up here on these 9 dots, you'll see these are key pieces of the Casper ecosystem. So you have Casper Live, which I'm on now. This is where you can delegate your Casper and currently earn almost 16% APY. Doesn't seem like a whole lot in the whole crypto community, because I mean there's stuff where people earn a lot more. However, it compounds every 2 hours. So whatever you have delegated, you earn every 2 hours, which is added to your account. So anyone who doesn't know, compounding interest, the more often that it compounds, the more powerful it is. So do your own research on it. I don't want to get off on a rabbit trail on that. I just want to give clarity as to what's going on with the Casper token, Casper Network, and Casper Labs. Next, you have Casper Wallet. I don't think I need to get into any great detail about what the Casper wallet, what a wallet is. It's a hot wallet. It's basically a place where you can put your Casper, that sort of thing, interact with, DeFi or staking or, things like that. You got, you have the market. Let's go to that real quick. So Casper Market. You have NFTs, things like that. So, I'm not huge into NFTs, that sort of thing. But for those of you that are, that you got that. You got Casper Cloud. Let's pull that up real quick. So, as it says, streamlined blockchain integration that enables trust in your products. So, basically, it's just a cloud application that allows what looks to be, and I could be wrong on this, but it looks to be like an API that allows, centralized exchanges, Casper Live, cold storage wallets, stuff like that, to integrate and to communicate with the Casper network. Hope I got that right. If I didn't, somebody please feel free to sharpshoot me on that. I do not. I would rather there be clarity. Looks like Casper Build. So this looks like it's for developers, which is one of the key aspects of the Casper network is that it is the ease of building on it. You have the accelerator, which I'm going to assume is grants, those sort of things to encourage people to build. You got NFT minting. Let's see, you got Casper.name. There's a waiting list going on there. So anybody that is familiar with like .eth, things like that, basically allows you to do that. And then you have Casper shopping. So there's actually ways that you can earn Casper. Let's see what happened here. Looks like I stopped sharing. Let's go back to here. So basically, you can earn like NordVPN, Timex, a lot of other companies. You can actually earn Casper for by purchasing. See, you can use your wallet and basically use Casper to buy your NordVPN membership and earn up to 24% Casper back. So it's kind of like a cashback credit card. So there's that. That's the tech that is going with the Casper network and the Casper Association, and moving forward with those entities. Um, let's see where we're at as far as. All right, looks like we're up to 26 people. Again, want to get this, clarity out to the community. If you could, please like and share this stream. I want to clear up a lot of the confusion. There's a lot of questions. I've spent the past 2 days of doing nothing but basically working out and trying to answer people's questions on what's going on with Casper and the Casper network, Casper token. And I don't. It does not bother me that the people that want to sell and move on and do other things, we all have to do what is best for our risk tolerance and what is best for our investing. I don't fault anybody. I'm not going to name call anybody, not going to talk trash on anybody. You got to do what you got to do. Like I said, I shorted Casper when I heard the news because I knew there'd be a sell off. I made a ton of money and I rolled that into buying more Casper. Took that initial investment, put it into a long. And actually, I'm going to check on that real quick. And I made 80% on the long. I closed it out and reopened again, and I'm down 11%. But I've made hundreds and hundreds of percent on shorting and that small long that I did. And I'm rolling all of those profits into buying more Casper. Like I said, my goal, and I'm well on my way, is to uh, have 1 million Casper that I have delegated. And to be honest, at my average buy-in, and what I'm down to probably about a cent and a half on my average buy-in for Casper. Um, I might just hold to of course the bull market, but the bear market as well, because I'm earning almost 16% APY that's compounding every 2 hours. And so, you know, do the math. Potentially I can be earning, over 10,000 if it goes like just say for a good round number, say Casper goes to $1. Moon math, I know. I like round numbers. Actually, you know what? Say that it goes to yeah, let's do this. Say that it goes to 10 cents. Let's just do this real quick. So 1 million. So that's 150,000 tokens at 15% APY, but you have to take into account the compounding. I earn about 10,000 tokens a day times zero point 0.1. So basically, potentially, say it got to 10 cents. It just does a 10x. Nothing crazy, just does a 10x. Off of a million tokens, I'm making $1,000 a month of just mailbox money. Now, if say it goes to $1, say Casper, now that the all the shackles are off, it's not just enterprise use cases, it's DeFi, it's just anything and everything that the Casper network team and the Casper Association wants to build out. Which is going to increase TVL, total value locked on on chain, cross chain, use cases to where they can go cross chain, stable coins, all of those things that before they weren't allowed to do, now they can do. Say moon math, say it goes to $1, and that's off a million tokens. You're making $10,000 a month. Um, and yeah, I would have no issue, with holding that through the bear market. If it went back down and lost 90%, and I was making $1,000 a month, while earning Casper, every 2 hours, through the whole bear, with my entry, I would have no issue holding it. So let's go ahead and move on. I've rattled on enough about that. These are all things that go through my mind. When it comes to if I'm gonna sell and get out of totally out of a position in crypto is, and one of them I'll give an example. Very early on, what was the name of that? Time Wonderland. It was when I was learning about crypto, and I wanted to learn about DAOs and things like that. I invested a little bit of money into that, and I use the term invest very loosely. It was a shit show, and I got out, and I lost a little bit of money, but luckily I got out before it went to total shit. But the reason I got out of it was that it was obvious that the show was over. There was no development going on. That everybody was jumping ship. Not just the token holders, but a lot of the key leaders were all jumping ship. Not the case with Casper. Again, those of you that just tuned in, Casper Labs rebranded to ProveAI. ProveAI is now a separate entity and building on HBAR or Hedera. They're building out the ProveAI, tech, that AI governance for IBM on HBAR. They're moving on, doing great things. Awesome, whatever. I hold HBAR, so upside. I might have, taken a hit on my Casper, but my HBAR, cool. The power of diversifying. You should not be all in on any one token. Not financial advice, just sharing what I do. I am diversified and like different, but I'll like I said, I'm fully transparent. Let me share with you, and feel free to sharpshoot me on my choices. I like I said, I do my research. I look into projects, and I invest off logic. I don't do meme coins. I don't chase. I don't do any of that. So let me share my screen real quick. This is my portfolio. I blocked out how much I have of each of them. But Aerodrome is my largest holding. Um, I invested in this. Drew over at Blockchain Basement, brought it up. I think I got in at just under 50 cents, and you can see, I'm up nicely on it. Casper is one of my larger holds. Constellation DAG, great project. The past couple of days, while everything else has been dumping, it's been all green. Tomorrow, I believe they have a some good news coming out. But anyway, let's stay on Casper. This is some of the stuff that I'm in. Moonwell, one I just bought into. Flare, another good one that I've been earning off of. I love projects where you can earn. But all right, so back to actually, I'm going to go over this one more time. Let's see how many people we got watching. We got 33. Please like and share this. I want to get this information out. Um, I apologize to those of you that have been watching. I want to make sure that people understand this key distinction. So if you want to go, and I'm not going to read the whole thing again, but if you want to go to the website, it's just Casper.network. You can go there and you can go to news and their blog. That's where I found this. In long and short of it is ProveAI, formerly known as Casper Labs, is building on Spar or Hedera. They Casper token, the Casper network, whatever. The little emo dude, with the hair, he's gone. In my opinion, he was what was holding us back. However, the Casper Association and Casper Network is moving forward, and Casper is not dead. Do not listen to Mason and his posts on Casper. I won't speak on. He's a very smart dude, but do not fall for clickbait. He's going on and on about how Casper's dead, a Casper validator, ran it improperly from what I've read. He's more than welcome to comment on what I'm about to say, but he outsourced it and had somebody else running it who wasn't running it properly and was losing money. So he shut it down. That made him salty on Casper. So, as I've noticed in crypto, whenever people feel like that, once they get out of a project because they feel like that, they got fudded out, people like to talk trash on it because they want to feel good about their decision. Let's just be honest. We're all guilty of it. Not necessarily of talking trash on it, but if somebody asks you, you're going to say, you know what, that project was trash. I got out of it, because you're going to stop paying attention to it. If they do anything good, you might not know about it because you got out. You're not, keeping up on the news for it, for that project. So let's see what else we got here. No, we don't need to look at that. Don't need to look at that. Looks like Casper kind of found its level. Let's go back to this. Let's go back to the charts. So this is where we're at on the 15 minute. I have my EMAs. I have my 20, my 50, my 100, and my 200 EMAs. So, and I am not a chart expert. I'll just come out and say that right off the bat. I'm not a chart expert, and you can see. I mean, this is just I'm learning how to trade. So I have a couple $100 in here, and I'm doing very small trades. Um, but with, like I said, with the short, the short that I did, I was able to add a couple $1,000 of Casper to my bags. which added like 30, 30, 40% to my bag. I'm hoping to catch Casper, pumping back up, as soon as the paper hands are done selling. Um, which looking at Casper Live again, I love crypto for this. Let's see. Let's go to deploys, share this tab. So on Casper Live, this is something that I like to look at. So you can see the deploys. So you can see whenever people are transferring Casper and how much they're transferring, when they're delegating, when they're undelegating. You can see, to and from. So somebody, bought 3 million Casper, like 27 grand of Casper off Bybit, and transferred to what looks to be a personal wallet. That's to me, that's bullish. That is hugely bullish. So, somebody's, in my opinion, smart. I wish I had an extra 27 grand to do that with. Um, Unfortunately, I don't ball like that. Let's see, actually, let's go to 100. So you can scroll down this, and this will give you a finger on the pulse of, if people are, bearish or bullish. You can go to DeFi Llama and stuff like that. Maybe we'll bop over there real quick after we touch on this. So you have the transfers, people delegating, undelegating. Um, again, you can see, people are transferring from, exchanges where they've bought, and they're taking it off exchanges. OKX, bought, move to a personal wallet. Another, $2,000. Gate.io, personal wallet. BitTrue, personal wallet. Here's somebody that undelegated. If somebody undelegated, there's a chance that they're going to move it to an exchange and potentially sell it. They could be undelegating because it takes 14 hours for it to become liquid. They could be just, hey, you know what? I'm going to get it liquid. So if I see any, major downside, or we get any more bad news, I can have it liquid to sell. Again, to each their own. Not a whole lot. It looks like they undelegated 680, which is $6. Not of any major concern. But again, there are people that are undelegating. Full transparency. Again, I am very logical. I want to make sure that I'm giving clarity to people. Somebody else delegating, another $2,000. Let's see what else we got going on. We'll hit a couple more of these and see what else. Yep, somebody redelegated. So I know it right there. You have somebody, another 2 grand, another delegation, 10 grand. Pete, looks like people are flowing back into Casper Live and redelegating. I like to see that. That's showing that, we might have found our bottom. And so now let's go back to here. The reason I wanted to touch on that is now looking at the 15-minute time frame. You can see it's like, yes, there was the initial dump. Let's pull out a little bit. There was the initial dump. That's what this was. We leveled out a little bit. This, in my opinion, was the people that had undelegated Casper on exchanges, in hot wallets, not delegated. This was people selling off. I get it. Again, I shorted, with some dry powder that I had, a couple $100. It was a smart move. If they sold somewhere in here, wrote it down, to somewhere down in here, and bought back in, they plussed up their bag. In my opinion, we saw some people buying back in. We saw what looks to be, about 8 in the morning. Actually, hold on. Now let's go out. It was yesterday, the 22nd. All right, this was the sell-off. So let's scroll in on that. So this was a sell-off. So you had people selling off. It looks like it tried to rebound. It looks like some people that were delegated, maybe got undelegated and they sold off. It leveled out. Looks like the people that probably in the Asian market, because they would have been the next ones to get the news, with the time frame. So as they undelegated, then and became liquid, they probably a bunch of them sold off because the Asian markets with crypto are much bigger, in my opinion, than the U.S. markets. And then now we've gotten this bounce. We got this really nice bounce, from the depths of hell. Holy shit! You know what? I'm an idiot. Sorry, I've been up all night following this disaster. I was on the Bitcoin chart. I was wondering why I wasn't looking right. So here is the sell-off. This makes more sense. Here's the sell-off. They sold off. That was the people that were liquid. It leveled out. Then the people that were delegated, some of that became liquid, and then of course the Asian markets on top of that. Huge sell-off. We rebounded, corrected a little bit, and now we're where we are now. And so looking at Casper Live, I'm seeing a lot more people delegating and redelegating and buying than I am selling, undelegating or de-delegating, whatever you want to call it. Um, so I'm again feeling very bullish. Let's see. We got anybody? Is Casper dead? No. That's somebody was asking in the chat. Casper is not dead. I'm just going to keep reiterating that. Casper Labs has rebranded to ProveAI and is no longer a part of the Casper token or the Casper network. They are building their idea for AI governance. Is it a hit to the Casper network and the Casper token? As absolutely. I own HBAR, so I'll profit from that as well. However, Casper Network and Casper Association is moving forward with now their hands aren't tied. They were treading water with their hands tied before because of this laser focus on uh, enterprise use only. They weren't allowed because of Casper Labs. They weren't allowed to build out in DeFi, stable tokens, all of those things that bring liquidity to a network and that build value, TVL, total value locked. That was not something that was being allowed by Casper Labs. Those shackles are off. Casper Network, let's go to his, let's see. Is this it? Where is it at? Here we go. All right. So let me share this. So again, Michael Stewart, who is the CTO of the Casper Network, as you can see, this is on his account, and he's been the most vocal. Honestly, he's doing better than whoever they have in charge of marketing and PR. So, an update. We're right behind him and can't wait to see more transparency and fresh ideas on Casper Network 2.0 and the roadmap. As a co founder of Casper, I have actually not been this excited about what's been going on in our ecosystem for a long time. We are finally unrestrained from divided attention, a core dev team that is chasing one spec project after the other in the enterprise space. We all saw what happened with IPWE. We saw what just happened with Prove AI. They're always chasing the next shiny object. They're not diversified. All their eggs seem to always be in one basket. A limited, narrow scope. What I was just saying for what projects can be and should be pursued. Again, everything was enterprise use cases only. No DeFi, no stable coins, no Web3 applications, none of that. Going forward, we are entirely and solely focused on the best outcomes for Casper Network, which is a huge change because before Casper Labs couldn't have cared less about token holders and price appreciation. As you can see, they were dumping for the past months. When we went from at one point it was 3 cents up to like 5 or 6 cents, and then down to 1 cent. They were doing nothing, as far as building the community and price appreciation. Going forward, we are entirely and solely focused on the best outcomes for Casper Network and all of its stakeholders, which would include token holders, not building demos for enterprises that don't result in actual network utilization. Again, if you're on Casper Live and watching the the network activity, every once in a while we would see like these blips. And actually, you know what? Let's let's go and I'll show you. So this is off Casper Live. You can go to more and go to analytics, and you can see native transfers, contract calls, and total deploys. The block time every 16 seconds. You have block finality, how many accounts, how many delegators there are. All of those things. So deploys over time. Let's go to 3 months. So over 3 months, you can see, we got these blips of deploys, and this was when they were doing the tests for ProveAI. You were getting these blips, and then a whole bunch of nothing. Year again, even looks even worse. You got these blips, blip, blip, blip. Never really seeing any real network activity. All time, flat line, and just these quick blips. You want to see steady growth. Let's go to DeFi Llama, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And I'm going to cheat and I'm going to use Ethereum. So you got transactions. This is the transactions on ETH. Let's see. So green is the transactions. It's just there's an ebb and a flow, but there's consistency. There isn't these huge spikes and then down to zero, huge spike down to zero. You want some stability in the network activity. Let's see if we can bring up Casper. No results found. I want to say, yeah, I don't think. Yeah, no, Casper isn't on DeFi Llama, but that will give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Is look at the difference between this and where are we at and this. I mean, it's just a night and day difference. And granted, Ethereum been around a lot longer, but with Ethereum, they build in every direction. Anybody that wants to build, they don't care if it's DeFi, they don't care if it's a stable coin, they don't care, if it's a Web3 application, if it's a game, whatever. If banks are using it for cross-border payments, they do not care. That's what we want. And that's what Casper Network is now wanting to do, based on, straight out of the CTO's mouth. This, this that I shared with you. You know, that is exactly what this CTO is talking about with, yeah. So, we have a ton of new and exciting things happening on the product side, like router protocol joining our ecosystem and opening Casper to much outside usage and TVL. That's exactly what he's talking about, is getting out of that, one silo of enterprise use case and just opening the network up. If you want to come build and you want to do, cross chain, if you want to build Web3 application, if you want to build, gaming, if you want to do anything. Now Casper is going to allow that. So anybody that's done technology, with the upgradable smart contracts, you somebody could build out on Casper, and while their project is still live on the Casper network, it's because it's built in a modular fashion. They can actually bring it all down, and then huge upgrade from things like my understanding. Please excuse me if this isn't correct, but Ethereum. A lot of the older tech, and there might be layer twos and stuff like that that do that for them. Again, I'm not trying to talk trash on other projects. I really want to give people clarity on what's going on with Casper, and that all of the value of the Casper network and the Casper token was not with Casper Labs. Again, I'm going to reiterate, Casper is not dead. Casper Network and Casper Association is moving forward and already putting out information about the direction that they're going to go. These are all precursors to what's called a roadmap. I If anybody that has connections at Casper Network and Casper Association, as a former COO of a tech company, I highly suggest, and I wish it would have gone a long way if they would have had this ready for this news that came out. Release a updated roadmap, an updated white paper, of where we currently are and where you plan to go with milestones of Condor. I read that Condor, the upgrade, is still 100%, working, going live soon. That would be a milestone. Once that's accomplished, all right, that is what work needs right now. Going to go to the moon. I'm not saying Casper's dead. I'm saying we are in a place of flux right now. I am bullish personally. I freed up some dry powder, took profits with some other things, and I used a couple $100 of it to short Casper. Made money on the way down. I rolled that into buying more Casper and delegated it. I kept my initial couple $100, and I'm now in a long. It's just sitting there steady. Again, I made 80% on the long, took out those profits, re-entered, with my initial investment again, and I'm down 37% right now. Have we hit the bottom? I would love to hear from some of the community out there that's better at TA than I am. Um, you can see on the 15-minute, we have a nice shelf forming here. There's some bullishness in it, which I like to see. It's a huge change from this. This is where the sell-off started. And just you can see it's just, we got a little bit of a shelf here, but not a lot of bullishness in it. Let's zoom in on it. There was a little bit of a pump, there were some blips of some bullishness, but then it tanked again. That in my opinion was, the people that were waiting for their Casper to undelegate. I get it. I'm not going to talk trash on you. We got kicked in the nuts with IPWE. It was a bankruptcy of IPWE, had nothing to do with the Casper token. However, there was a lot of hype behind it. there was they were going to tokenize tokenize patents, which a huge moneymaker still could be, but IPV kicking the nuts. Next shiny object that Casper Labs that's gone now. What they were focused on was ProveAI and building out IPM's AI governance. That was the new the next shiny thing. But all their eggs were in that one basket. That was the only thing we heard about, which was annoying as shit for me. And why we weren't seeing price appreciation. People want to see TVL. They want to see network activity. They want to see a growing community. All of those things are what build value. It's meme tokens. Perfect example. No utility whatsoever, but they freaking moon because community. People get into them. Bobcat. Um, I didn't buy into it. I don't do memes. However, if you pick the right one, there's a lot of money to be made. Not financial advice, but Bobcat, they are all over the place right now, putting taking people's pictures and putting the weird little bob hairdo with the cat ears on everybody, and getting people. I know Drew on Blockchain Basement was talking about them because they bobbed him, they bobbed me. I'm talking about them now. See, by no means am I saying run out and buy Bobcat, but uh, if you're into that kind of thing, more power to you. So again, this I saw as uncertainty. It's that choppiness, that really short choppiness, and then of course it staved off again. This I see as more bullish. I would like to see us get back above that psychological level at 1 cent. I would really like to see us get back up above that and hold on a longer time frame. That to me will start building the confidence back with Casper. Again, this nice bullish movement. You were getting these EMAs, and again, those that are better at TA, please by all means sharpshoot me. But a golden cross is usually when the lower time frame EMAs cross over the longer time frame EMA. So like if the 20, crosses the 50, crosses the 100, crosses the 200, 50 crossing the 100, or the 200, things like that. That's a golden cross. Again, my understanding. As you can see, we had a little bit of a cross here. That was the 20 crossing the 50. We got a nice little bullish move. Came over to here. You had the 20 crossing the 100, and you got another bullish move. And right now, we're seeing the 20 pinching together with the 200 with this sideways action, this consolidation. That's the kind of thing that we want to see. Some stability, some strength. And again, please sharpshoot me if I'm off on this. But if I see the 20 crossing the 200, I think it will make this and this look like nothing. So if those pinch together and that orange line that what I have is orange crosses that purple, I see some good upside. I'm hoping that puts us above that 1 cent, and I would be happy with just some sideways chop for a while some clarity in the community gets out, people get educated on what's going on. Let's check on where we're at. Only 46 views. If you guys could please, like and share this. I know I'm not giving a ton of information, but there's a lot of people out there that are still asking the question: is Casper dead? Is should I sell? Should I buy? It's important that people understand and make informed decisions and not emotional ones. I'm trying to give information that will give them the information they need to make that logical, well-informed choice. Um, so again, like and share this stream. Help me get this clarity out for those of you. If we start getting some numbers pumping up, I'll go back over some of the stuff that I've already covered because again, there's some very key distinctions that need to be made as far as you know what Casper Labs was, what the Casper Network is and the Casper Association, how they're tied together, how they're separate, totally separate teams. Casper Labs and that team is a totally separate team than Casper Network. Again, this is the Casper Network team. They are not going with what ProveAI, which used to be Casper Labs. This team is staying with the Casper Network and still actively at work building out the Casper ecosystem. I cannot stress that enough. They are, from everything that is being released right now, they are moving forward with the Condor upgrade. They are moving forward with other use cases. They are now out of the restrictions that Casper Labs put on them to only go after these singular enterprise use cases. First it was IPWE, then it was Prove AI. It shows in Casper Labs breaking off and becoming Prove AI. They just have this laser focus. They can't focus on more than one thing at a time. So good riddance. I'm glad they're gone. I want the shackles off and for the Casper Network, developers and all that to go in as many directions as possible. You know, build out Web3 applications, build out DeFi, build out stable coins, build out. Go, we want TVL. We want total value locked. We want liquidity on the Casper blockchain. Build out, cross-chain, functionality. Integrate into other blockchain, whatever it is. I don't care what it is. The Casper tech, the way that it's built out and the way that it's modular, the upgradable smart contracts, all of these things that make Casper unique will not be fully realized until Casper's out there, until devs are building on it, until people see how the potential of how it can be used and how easily it can be built on and how easily it can be upgraded. You know, that is what is going to draw development and building of the ecosystem and the liquidity flooding onto it. That is what is going to build value. That is why we have not seen price appreciation. All we've seen is downward price movement because of Casper Labs. They were selling off to fund their operations. Now, key thing here. I read. I have not been able to verify, but I read all of the tokens held by Casper Labs are being transferred to the Casper Network team. So that is good news. If that's true, that means Casper Labs, the sell-off that they've been doing, stops, and the inflationary aspect of Casper, that goes to the Casper Network team to pay for their operations and them building out the network and the ecosystem. Another key aspect of the Casper Network, being a community-driven project now, we are going to have a say and the validators more specifically in how the Casper network scales and grows. And in key aspects, if at any point, and this plays into to delegators, people like myself that have delegated my Casper onto a validator, giving them the voting rights, of my tokens. So if we as a community ever decided we want to get rid of the inflationary aspect of Casper, that 8% per year that of token minting or printing, we can vote on that and make that go away. If we want to increase or decrease the APY, we can vote on that as well. You know, it is no longer Casper Labs that are making those decisions for us. We are like most other decentralized. We are decentralized now. Casper went from being a centralized blockchain under Casper Labs to a decentralized, community driven blockchain. That is a key distinction that we can take away from this. It is the fact that we're now a community driven blockchain. Let me check messages real quick. Take a look at some of the comments on some of my posts on Casper. Appreciate appreciate those of you, Steve. Here, let's share this. Steve Huang, thank you for for liking the broadcast. Those of you that if you could please share, repost this stream. I want people to get good, solid information, not clickbait. I honestly, I don't care if you follow me. I don't care if you're, um, if you like what I'm saying. I don't care if you sell. I don't care if you're buying. I don't care if you're delegating. If you're undelegating, I don't care. I just want you to be informed. I want you to do whatever it is you're going to do from facts and logic, not emotion. Um, let's keep going down. What else we got going on? Yeah, this was me. Mason again. It's this guy, Mason versus Luis, whatever. He's an influencer, has a ton of followers. Almost 200,000 followers. He is very good at marketing. He does the open mouth pointing thing on on YouTube, and has grown his community. Great at clickbait. With the titles and stuff like that. Not something I'm into. I would rather again give facts and logic. But as you can see, Casper is officially over. Again, it's not. Glad they will be absorbed into HBAR, I guess. They are not being absorbed into HBAR. Casper Labs is now ProveAI is building on HBAR. All these people that are posting, the little handshaking thing, welcoming the Casper community to the HBAR community, not a thing. They are not merging. There's no, there's nothing like that. It's Casper Network is moving on with the Casper Association and going on and doing bigger and better things. Casper Labs rebranded to Prove AI, and they are moving on to do bigger and better things. That one use case for IBM, AI governance, Prove AI, and they are building that out on HBAR. Why they're doing that, I do not know. That information has not been put out. Personally, I think if you hold HBAR and you hold Casper, I think this is bullish for both. The use case of AI governance for IBM, still an awesome project. And if they're building it out, even though it's the Casper Labs team, which I hope that they do great things and pump my HBAR back. However, it's again, you know, bad information. Mason, shame on you. You're giving out bad information. If it's for clickbait or just through ignorance, I don't know. You're better than this. You're a smart dude. I've listened to you for the past couple of years in crypto. It's do your due diligence before you put information out. You have a lot of people that listen to you. Casper was one that I truly believed in. If you did, you would be knowledgeable on what's going on. Again, he had a validator. He outsourced it again. This is the information that that I got. Um, I don't you know I don't have firsthand knowledge. It's secondhand knowledge. He outsourced it. It wasn't being run right. He lost money because of the token value going down, and so he shut down his validator. Whatever, do what you got to do. I guess this is a lesson showing that you can truly be brainwashed by the whole utility coin thing. Not sure what that means, but prove AI. Let's go to this. This This is Casper Labs. Prove AI is or Casper Labs is gone. They are now Prove AI. Big news. Casper Labs is now Prove AI. We're officially launching on the Hedera network, bringing more scalability and efficiency to AI governance. Learn more in our CEO's blog post. And again, let's go to this blog post. Again, this has nothing to do with Casper Network or Casper Token anymore. This is HBAR and Prove AI. Casper Labs is now Prove AI. Today marks a formative moment for our company in our journey to develop and introduce a higher standard for AI governance. Sorry. As of today, Casper Labs, known as Prove AI, this this represents a doubling down in our commitment to our signature AI governance product. Da, ba, da, ba, da. As part of this announcement, we will be officially migrating Prove AI from the Casper network, where it was originally developed and piloted, to Hedera's enterprise grade blockchain environment. This was not a decision we came to lightly, and it's ultimately about pursuing Prove AI's and Hedera's shared vision of harnessing blockchain's uniquely secure and tamper-proof nature to serve the fast-growing AI governance market. To be honest, my personal opinion, I wonder if the Casper network, and again, I'm very logical. The Casper network hack that happened a little while back, um, and they took the network down, they patched it, they fixed it, ensured that it was good before they brought the network back up. I wonder if that shook either IBM, Casper Labs, Prove AI, whatever, on on the Casper network. I'm trying. I'm just sharing, kind of my thoughts on it. Nothing to back it up. Just that statement made me think about that. Since its inception in 2017, Hedera has realized an impressive degree of decentralization while also establishing a monumental footprint within the mainstream businesses. So again, that focus of enterprise use case only, I think that HBAR is very aligned with Prove AI, also formerly known as Casper Labs. um, Again, the CEO of Casper Labs or Prove AI had a hard on for Fortune 500 companies. He was always talking about it. So the fact that HBAR has a bunch of existing partnerships probably plays a big part, along with some of the world's most prestigious educational institutions and nonprofits. Incredibly robust network, and one that we believe can help propel Prove AI to even greater heights in months and years to come. So I think that the fact that IBM, is their AI that they're building out is more enterprise focused. Casper Labs, enterprise focused. HBAR, enterprise focused. IBM, huge partnerships with Fortune 500 companies. HBAR, huge partnerships with Fortune 500 companies. Prove AI, previously Casper Labs, wants those partnerships. He sees a future. The CEO sees a future in enterprise use case. He's looking at the long term. It's not a unintelligent move, um, but it's not going to be a huge price mover for a token. Short term. Um, as those ecosystem, as those use cases grow and those partnerships grow, and more liquidity comes on, more network usage, those sorts of things, you'll see that price appreciation. So again, is what it is. Our departure from Casper is bittersweet one. As a contributor to the protocol myself, I remain firmly confident in Casper's future and vast potential. The network remains in excellent hands with the new leadership at the Casper Association and with a newly refreshed energy as it transitions to a more community led model that will focus on innovative Web3 projects that go well beyond the enterprise AI use case that ProveAI serves. Again, Casper Labs was forcing the Casper Association and Casper Network to only focus on Prove AI. That does not give any price appreciation. So as Casper Labs was selling off their tokens, that's why we were just seeing that slow grind down. Now that we're out from under that heel and all of those tokens are being sent over to the Casper Association and the Casper Network, again, that's what I'm being told. I've yet to see an official announcement of that. Um, that is going to allow for the price to break loose. Let's check what's going on. We're still sitting steady. All right. Let's go back over here. All right. Nothing about Prove AI's core feature set. Uh, so yeah, that's about it. I won't bore you with the other stuff, but that is an important distinction to understand. That again, those of you that are just tuning in, let's see. Uh, so again, those of you that are just tuned in, that is the important distinction. Straight out of the mouth of the Casper Network team and the CTO, and Prove AI, formerly known as Casper Labs, moving on and building on HBAR. Casper Labs rebranded. To summarize, Casper Labs rebranded to Prove AI and are migrating Prove AI from Casper over to Hedera or HBAR. If you invested in Casper because of Prove AI and that AI governance for IBM, which it's one of the reasons I invested. You might want to look at, buying some HBAR. I already owned a bunch of HBAR, so I'm good. Either way, Casper, Casper Network, and Casper Association is now free to go in any direction that they want or any direction the community wants, based off the validators. Whenever you delegate, I'll go back to Casper Live. Like here, the validators. So those of you that are new to crypto that don't understand, the validators they vote. So what you can do is when you buy your Casper on an exchange, you can either using the Casper wallet or your own cold storage wallet or hot wallet, you can move your Casper off the exchange into that wallet and you can delegate it to one of the validators. Your token amount, so percent of the network. So this validator here has 9.95% of the Casper or percent of the network. So that's their voting rights. The more Casper that a validator has, the more voting rights they have. So whenever they want to make a change to the network, like say that they want to take away the inflationary aspect of Casper, the 8% annual inflation rate. of Casper. Um, they Somebody can put forward a proposition to, I think that's the right word, a proposal. Sorry, put forward a proposal saying, let's get rid of the inflationary aspect of Casper. It's let's and then it'll be put up for a vote. All the validators vote. If there's more for getting rid of the inflationary aspect, then it goes away. If less, if people want to keep it, then it stays. A lot of that decision was formally, like with the direction of the network, was with Casper Labs. Again, with them moving on, rebranding to ProveAI and moving on, we as a community now guide the future of Casper and the Casper, blockchain and its technology. This is incredibly bullish. Um, Again, and what's led me to, I have not sold a single one of my Casper tokens. I'm fully delegated, and actually, you know what? Let's actually do this real quick. Let's. There we go. Nah, I won't share that. Basically, I was going to share my account, and so you know what? No, it has my public address and all that. Not that anybody can hack it or anything. I'm not like super, I'm not like a super tech guy and understand what I should and shouldn't share. So, but I'll tell you, I have just shy of 700,000 Casper. And before all this started, I had probably around 500,000. So I've added almost 200,000 Casper to my holdings by shorting. Again, because I knew people were going to be emotional when they heard the news. Anytime there's bad news and I have conviction in a project, I short it because the bad news people are going to sell off. They're going to fud themselves out, and then when I feel it hits the bottom, I take those profits, I buy more of it, and maybe even the initial bit of money like I did this time, I put it in a long. And again, so I made profit on the way down. I bought, and then with the price appreciation, I'm earning because my token that the token value is going up, so my holdings are going up. I am delegated, so I'm earning the almost 16% APY. It's 15.7 right now APY that is compounding every 2 hours. So every 2 hours I'm getting around 20 Casper every 2 hours, like clockwork. Day, night, doesn't matter. 24/7, 365. I'm earning Casper. Um, and so as that's being added to my account, it's not just the 15.7 APY because it's compounding every 2 hours. That's powerful. Any mathematicians out there, feel free to share. It's very important to understand the power of compounding interest. So again, it's my goal. I'm hoping that I want to break a million Casper is my goal, and I might, depending on how the Casper Network and the Casper Association conducts themselves. If they keep coming out, with some transparency and giving a little bit of information as to their roadmap, what milestones, where are we at with Condor, the upgrade, all of those things. Depending on how they conduct themselves, I might sell some of my other holdings and buy in to get to that million Casper milestone that I have for myself. I just I would love to see that. Hey, how's it going? Like, subscribe, notification, and smash the like button. Somebody's name is like, subscribe, notification, and smash the like button. Yeah, please do that. Like, share the stream, please. Let's get this information out there. If you hold Casper, you want people to have good information. Not hopium, not FUD. And I'm trying to only give information that's being put out by Casper Labs, you know, which is now ProveAI, Casper Association, and Casper Network. That's what I'm trying to give here. All right, hold on. We got some breaking news. All right. Well, I'm going to give it. I'm going to give this to you raw dog. I don't know what this says. I'm just going to read it to you. So, some of the best people for information on Casper is Kevin Cage, Tokenizer, Crypto Charged, as you can see here. I'm trying to think if there's one more. I apologize if there's another one, but let's go through this. I am the co-founder of Casper Labs and was originally responsible for laying out the product vision for the protocol back in 2018. After stepping back from this operational role in 2019, I and my team at Make have made one of the most dedicated supporters of the Casper project, responsible for contributing much of the core infrastructure that exists in the ecosystem, including Casper Live, Casper Wallet, developer platforms such as Casper Cloud and Casper Click. That's that's all of this. All of this. So this is Casper Live, and this is all of those applications that they were just listing. So back to here. As a community member since before the launch of the network, I have been an outspoken proponent of further decentralization, key of both the governance and the product execution for Casper. What Let me clarify. There has been friction between Casper Network and Casper Labs for a while because of this. Because of Casper Labs and that structure, the Casper blockchain was very centralized, which those of you in crypto know do not bode well for price appreciation and why we have been so flat. What he's talking about, or this person is talking about, is they have been pushing for decentralization, both for the governance and the execution. So governance, that making decisions, deciding, you know, again, voting and deciding if they're going to get rid of the inflationary aspect, if they're going to do a burn, whatever it is. And then the execution. So, how they're going to build out. Are they going to do DeFi? Are they going to launch a stable coin? Those sorts of things. Prior to co-founding Make, I have been a well-respected founder of the technology executive in various industries for 25 plus years and have a proven track record of delivering value and execution from the forefront of innovation. In the late 90s, I oversaw the establishment of an interoperable premium SMS network across Europe and North America, connecting over 100 mobile network operators in order to enable use cases that persist until today. Let's scan over some of this. In the early 2000s, I was the CTO for mobile for THQ, a top three video game publisher at the time, and oversaw the team that created the first downloadable mobile games. Bullish. I would love to see games being built out on Casper, heralding in the age of mobile gaming and the subsequent app economy. Subsequently, I oversaw the rollout of the first mobile skill gaming platform in North America and Europe, which became a category defining genre of video gaming. During the 2010s, I was the CTO of Playcino, a leading social and mobile casino game. I would love to see some gambling and stuff like that. Uh, huge use case. Publisher that serviced tens of millions of players worldwide, active in the blockchain industry since 2013. I have been involved with many of the early players in our industry in various capacities. With Make, my team and I developed public health technology platforms, another use case that are in use by 80% of the top pharmaceutical companies worldwide. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, helped governments on the national, state, and local level manage their pandemic response. Throughout it all, I have built and developed highly functional teams and provided them with the tools and structures to execute and deliver advanced products on a consistent basis. Finally, I have been an open source contributor since the late 90s. And this is Michael Stewart, who is the CTO of Casper Network, who is still the team that is still in place with the Casper Network and the Casper token, not Casper Labs that has broken off and rebranded, has nothing to do with Casper anymore. Once that is complete, they have no governance, they have no say, and my understanding is all of their Casper tokens have already been sold or they're being transferred to the Casper Network team. Very important to understand that. All right, so we shared that. All right. So, what seems like this is his personal or their personal opinion. What seems like a disaster is actually the best development possible for Casper. Will it 100x? No one knows. Do I see this as being bullish? 100%. This is a key and important aspect to understand that of the potential now for the Casper network. All of this tech, any of you out there that did your homework and understand the tech stack of Casper and what it's capable of, and is knowledgeable about the structure, the corporate structure of and the centralized aspect of how it was structured. All of that is different now. We are decentralized, and those shackles have been taken off to where we can build out, just like the CTO was talking about. They can build out for healthcare. They can build out for gambling, online gaming, things like that. They can build out in DeFi. They can do stable coins. All of these things that make a robust ecosystem that directly contribute to price appreciation can now be done on the Casper network. And from what I'm seeing from the CTO that's in charge of this development, that is what he wants to do. He wants to go in any direction that developers and partners want to go in. Doesn't have to be just ProveAI or just IPWE. He wants to just have a robust ecosystem. This is what we wanted, people. This, if you're not more bullish now, like let's look at the price. Yeah, the price is still down. So yeah, I mean we're still under a penny. To me, after reading what I just read, I might sell some profits from some of my other positions and buy even more Casper. I really do want to get to 1 million tokens. I see at least a 10x on Casper. After this huge dip, like here, let's zoom out. After this huge dip, going from, at one point back here, you know, uh, you know, a little bit over a cent, down to under a cent. Let's, that's a 33%, move to the downside that we've seen. Um, Initially, when I started buying Casper, let's go to the day. This will give you an idea. Look at this. Since it launched, since it launched here, um, back in October of last year. We saw the pump that took us up to almost 5.5 cents. And all of these sell-offs, I honestly believe was Casper Labs. We pumped up to here, they sold off. Pumped up, sold off. You know, did all this selling, pumped up a little bit, sold off. Pumped up a little bit, sold off. All of this was Casper Labs selling off, in my opinion. Just judging by what I saw, on chain. Um, I see, I see, a bullish price appreciation moving forward. There's going to be some more downside potentially. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's all up from here. You're going to see, people as and why it's so important that you all share this. You're going to see people as they get the news. They get frustrated. They see a piece of FUD like what Mason put out. Casper's dead. Casper dead. Casper's dead, and they're going to make the emotional choice to sell. You know what? Awesome. I wish nothing but the best for you. Take that money, invest in something else, and I hope you make a ton of money. No hard feelings. However, Warren Buffett and all the big investors, the best time to buy is when there's blood in the streets. When you see, bad news like this come out and the price goes down, um, I've seen it with, other projects. Um, bad news comes out, take a little bit of money and short it. Make money on the way down like I did with Casper. It's if you believe in the project, if you did your research, and in the tech itself, the team, all those things, and you honestly believe in the project, make money on the way down. You know, it's as investing. Um, Take that, roll it. Once you kind of feel like there's a bottom, like I feel like there's a bottom right now. We're definitely building out a shelf here. After all of this downside, we had some sideways action, but it was super choppy. We're seeing a lot more green in this shelf. It's starting to get small again. It's starting to get choppy. If you draw a wedge here, potentially you can short term you can see that it could potentially break up or break down still. As this gets more and more narrow, as this chop gets smaller and smaller, it's going to make a decision. Um, this right here, my understanding, again, I'm not a TA expert, but you see this 50 EMA crossing over this 100 EMA. That, in my understanding, a lower time frame crossing over a higher time frame is bullish. So, as you can see here, you had the 20 crossed over the 50. We had a pump. You saw that the 20 crossed over the 100. It pumped. Now you're seeing the 50 crossing over the 100. It's potentially, coming at the end of this. Let's take a look at it. And just you really should look at multiple time frames and stuff like that. Again, I want to make sure people understand I'm not a TA expert, far from it. This is just a little bit that I know. So you can see that we're bouncing around in this wedge. You have your point of control here on this volume node. In the lower, the more zoomed in lower time frame. Um, Potentially, my understanding is this point of control tends to want to have it sucked down, so it could break to the downside. Highly possible. It's how are we looking on RSI? RSI is flat. Money flows. We have positive money flow coming in. Stochastic RSI is cooling off. MACD, a little bit weaker on the buying, but all in all, I would say I'd say we will still see a little bit of downside still. To what extent I don't know, but I honestly think that we might see a little bit of downside, come down to this level here, this 0.00888. And I would hope if we do that it bounces. I would love to see these, lower time